Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Monday, January the 9th, 2022. Monday, January the 9th, 2022. Well, we had some shaking and a moving. Devon was in the center of quite a bit of it. Excellent, Devon. We have Devon immediately calling Audra over to the office, and Lily was already there. So when he came in, he goes, "Good, you're here." She goes, "Yeah, I just had stuff to do." And he goes, "Because I need to speak to you." She goes, "Well, okay, about what?" He said, "Well, remember, I said I'd find out evidence about a valid reason why we shouldn't go public." And Lily's like, "Oh my God, not this. This is happening, Devon, you know?" And he goes, "Oh, wait till you hear what I have to say." So Lily gets up and she's getting ready to close the door, or she just closed the door, and Audra comes in. And Lily's like, "What? Like, why is she here?" And so Devon point blank didn't hold punches. He goes, "Well, I have found another traitor in the company." And Audra's looking, if it's one thing that girl does, is she's got a good poker face. It's like nothing seems to rattle her as she's thinking. And she's like, "What?" Like, "Do tell." And so he goes, our Miss Audra Charles is not, all she seems to be. And Audra's like, "What could you be talking about?" He goes, "Interesting that she's been in contact with my father, Tucker McCall." And Audra's like, "What would make you say that?" Right? And so Audra says, "Well, no." So Devon says, "Well, you both have the same ringtone for each other." She goes, "No, lots of people have ringtones, special, and which was digging herself in a bigger hole, tones for people that they want to know what's calling." And he goes, Exactly. Tucker has the same one that you have." And she's like, "Well, that still doesn't mean anything." He goes, "Yeah, it does. Because I had question and doubts as to pretty much what were Tucker's intention for trying to take over Chancellor Winters." And she goes, "I have nothing to do with that." She goes, "Well, because first she was trying to deny that she even knew Tucker." She goes, "Well, he says, and I did some digging. Audra worked for Audra built up huge amounts of student loans." And she goes, "Everybody knows that MDAs are very expensive. I'm no different. Well, a company called Eyes for You, or Only Eyes for You, is a company that paid off her student loans." She goes, "It was just a company that I worked for. I deserved it. I did a great job. They paid off my student loans." Because he was saying, "What was the name of the company?" And she goes, I don't recall. Now, Audra recalls everything else, right? But he goes, "You don't recall the name of a company that freed you from hundreds of thousands of dollars in student debt. You don't remember the name of that company." She's looking. And he goes, "That's what he said. Only have eyes for you." And Lily's looking like, "Well, what does that have to do with anything?" And he may have brought up the ringtone after he led her down this road. I don't quite remember the order. And Lily's like, "What does that have to do with anything?" And he goes, "Only have eyes for you is the name of the song that Tucker McCall first wrote, his first song he ever wrote." And Audra looks, she goes, "Well, I didn't know that." She goes, "No, of course you didn't. That's the name of his company. He named it after the first song." And so Lily's like, wait, you know Tucker? You've been working with Tucker?" And this is like, "No, I know." And so then that's when I think maybe Devon brought up the ringtones. And she goes, fine, okay, so what? So I know Tucker McCall. It's like, so what now, right? And so she goes, that has nothing to do with the excellent work I've done with this IPO. It's all set up. It's all ready to go. Me knowing Tucker McCall has nothing to do with anything. And Devon says, oh yeah, it's everything to do with it. Everything to do with everything, right? And Lily's like, I don't believe this. Because she's already reeling kind of for from her breakup with Billy. And she's like, I can't even deal with this right now. She says, you are fired. She looks at Devon. She goes, have security throw her out of this building right now. I can't even deal with this. She walks out, right? So Devon closes the door. And so Audra says, well, I could leave unless you don't share the same feelings as she does. And Devon looked at her and he's like, what on earth could you be talking about? She goes, I'm an asset. I know all about what Tucker's plans were for Chancellor Winters. And I mean, I could give you valuable intel. And Devon says, so you are willing to tell me, or you're telling me that you would turn traitor on my father to feed me information, and I'm supposed to trust you? Yes. Like I said, I'm an asset. And he goes, no. Clear, go to your office, clear your things out, and get out of the building. My whole thing is this kind of traitor. And so she goes, well, you may want me on your side, having me working for you than working against you. And Devon looked at her and he says, let me remind you of something. You signed a very lengthy NDA clause when we hired you. If I hear of any Chancellor Winters information given out to any individual or company, I'm going to have you in court by the end of the day. He says, and you're going to need my father's money to help you out of this legal mess. Because Devon's like, I got deep pockets. I'll have you in court by the end of the day. So she goes, well, very well. And as she's walking out, she goes, oh, by the way, just to let you know, you don't have very good people instincts. You let Nate into the company. You hired me. And she didn't hire them. She goes, and I came into the company, and your father definitely had designs, and you couldn't see none of it. And she walks out, and Devon is just looking. And I'm thinking, chick, bottom line, I've suspected my father from day one. Okay, I suspected he was the person Nate was cahooting with. Okay, Nate threw them all a loop. You don't expect family to do that, right? But how does she think she got busted, right? Devon's people instincts, right? Lily didn't bust her out. Jill sure didn't. Jill was the one that brought her. So how did Tucker manage to, he probably told her, submit your resume to Jill Chancellor. See, yeah, and Jill didn't check her out. Jill wouldn't have known the name of Tucker's company, the first name of the song he wrote. She didn't check nothing out really well at all. As a matter of fact, they need to get Jill on a conference call. Like she reamed them out about Nate. They need to ream her out about Audra Childs. Ream her out. And Devon needs to let her know once and for all, this whole IPO debacle. I don't want to hear of it again. I don't want to hear of it again, Jill. I don't want to hear of it again, Lily. Okay? If you want to bring it up again, Jill, I will be buying Hamilton Winters away from Chancellor Winters. I will separate my company, and I got the money to do it. He needs to do that. He seriously, seriously needs to do that. So then Devon heads straight for Tucker. Walks in Tucker's room. Now, mind you, Tucker and Ashley had just hit the sheets. But Tucker went to go take a shower, and Ashley had looked into the little desk drawers there and found a little file on the new company he set up with her name on it, with him and her. She thought, oh, wow, I guess he meant it. And then she saw a file on Jabot, and it was Jabot Financials. And she's looking at it, and she's thinking, he was trying to take Jabot. So he comes out of the shower, and he's like, it's not at all what you think, Ashley. It's not what you think. And she goes, what do you mean it's not what I think? It's right here. Jabot Financials. He goes, no, I just wanted to get some information, some background on the company. He says, is this what Diane furnished you? And you want to know what Tucker did? He didn't say, no, I got it on my own. He let her think that. We all know Diane didn't get the information, right? But he got it because bottom line, he always could. He always could. Diane felt he had somebody else get what he wanted. But he's going to let Diane get some heat from this because Ashley's going to use that, right? The reason why Ashley showed up at his hotel room, she walks out and there's Jack and Diane talking about, oh, Nikki, framing Nikki, but Ashley didn't hear, well, we got to make sure she doesn't suspect. And she goes, who doesn't suspect? And Jack is like a little frazzled, like how much did she hear? But she ended up letting them know, you know what? I don't want to know what you two are courting about, but I come out of my kitchen and here she is, you are not welcome in this house. And so Jack says, look, this is, like I said, this is my house too. She is my guest. And Ashley's like, ugh. So Ashley leaves, right? She leaves. And that's when she goes to Tucker. She brings some wine and everything. And one thing leads to another. And of course, Ashley ends up sleeping with Tucker. We knew that was coming, right? So, but anyway, back to here, Devon is showing up after the fact, after she slept with him, after she found out the paperwork on Jabot. And she's listening to Devon ream his father about betrayal. He said, I suspected you from the beginning. And I even asked you, is that your intentions? And you looked me straight in the face and lied to me. And he goes, you have the whole thing wrong. He goes, no, I don't have the whole thing wrong at all. And he goes, but I'm here to let you know. See, have you talked to Audra today? And he goes, who? He goes, oh, no, no. I already know. It's already been confirmed. Audra Childs is working for you as a plant in Chancellor Winters. And Tucker's thinking, she rat me out? He goes, oh yeah, already confirmed. Okay. Oh, by the way, she's already fired. So you won't be able to get any more information. Tucker. But I'm telling you, just you said you wanted a relationship with me. You said that. You said you wanted a relationship with your grandson. He goes, I'm here to tell you, that's all over. You'll never see my son again. And our relationship is done. And he goes, because a man like you, and he's telling something about self-serving and blah, blah, blah. And Ashley's crying. She's hurt. She's like, oh my God. Not only was he doing this to Jabot, this is what the man is doing to his own son, right? She's crying. A reason she's crying is she's thinking, and I slept with him. I was really having feelings. feelings for him because it felt the way it used to feel. And boy, he's good in the bed. And I was really happy with that. No, I laid my head on his chest. Ashley, right? You had everything under control, but your little heart was definitely in it, right? So Tucker says, listen, as Devon is telling him off, ripping him a new one. He goes, listen, you don't have all the facts, and you are treading dangerously with crossing a line with me. Devon looked at him. He said, oh, there's a line? There's a line. He said, well, I want you to know. You've crossed that line with me. We're done. We're through. Nothing. I don't want nothing to do with you ever again. And he walks out the door. So then when he walks out the door, this is where Ashley, she's remembering, I was just in the sack with him and oh, so happy, right? And he's looking away and she's just looking at him like, how dare you? How dare you? Hurt me again. How dare you? And he goes, listen, no, I'm sorry you had to hear that, and as he's looking away, you know how he talks real low. He's got this whole thing wrong. Absolutely. This is just not the way it really is. And I'll clear it up. Don't even worry about that. And she looks at him. She goes, he's got the whole thing wrong, huh, Tucker? She goes, let me tell you who got the whole thing wrong. You got the whole thing wrong. He said, see this? All this. She goes, this was designed for me to find out if you were after my family's company. And I found out tonight you are after my family's company. All this was an act, Tucker, all of it. Like me taking you to bed, all that. So Ashley, no doggone well, that wasn't no act, but okay. Now she's saving face. It's all an act, right? And now that I have what I wanted, I got the information that I wanted. We're through. You'll never see me again, Tucker. Never. And she walks out the door. He goes, Ashley. And he tries to reach for her and she's gone. And he slams the door. And Ashley walks down the hall, but she turns and she kind of leans against the wall like, but I enjoyed that reconnection sex. I really enjoyed that. And he's sitting on his chair. He's mad. He's sitting, he throws the papers around and he's sitting there like, got to come up with a new plan, So then we have, minor crap. Jack and Diane, okay, couldn't wait to kiss again. Let's talk about the kid. Let's talk about why I want to. I don't want to talk about this. Diane even says, you know what? I'm having second thoughts about Nikki being the target. He goes, wait, what? Why? We decided she was the perfect one. Aside from the fact that whatever happens, I'll be able to smooth it out with her. Oh, really, Jack? Really? Would you ever smooth that out with Victor? And so he goes, no, I think it's the best plan. And I thought, she just played you, Jack. Remember? Jack, animal name, looks kind of like a horse or a donkey, but she's now making you believe this is your plan and your idea. And you're convincing her to do it. And that's exactly what he did. And she's like, you know what? You're right. You're right. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, she is that good, right? So now Phyllis comes over because she's looking for Summer. And she had talked to Kyle earlier at Crimson Light. They were having a business meeting, and Phyllis's head was not in the game whatsoever. And Daniel was noticing it. I mean, yeah, and she just, and he goes, hey, Earth to Mom, hey, what, huh? You know what? If your head is not going to be in the game, if you're not going to be, give me 100%, then no, I know what you want. You want me to hire people, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, I'm just in a funk, mood because, Summer, this, that, and the other, Summer didn't believe in me. And he goes, whoa. This meeting is not about Summer. Okay. You need to focus, Mom. I really need you to focus, right? So she goes, I am focused. I am focused. And so he goes, did you look over the list of resumes that I sent you? And he's looking like, you didn't. She goes, I'm gonna go, I'll make it my top priority. I'm gonna take care of it tonight. You know, I'm just hurt. I'm hurt that Summer could choose Diane over me, and Summer, and he goes, see, oh my God, oh my God. You're not 100% here. She looks at him. He goes, let me just tell you this one thing. Summer has not betrayed you. Summer has absolutely not chosen Diane over me. Summer's caught between a rock and a hard place, but she is just as upset about Diane as you are, and she has not turned her back on you. Well, how do you know? Because I've talked to her. And so she goes, but yet she's telling you this. She should have told me. Goes, you know what, Mom? Look, both of your relationship is volatile right now. Okay, Summer's trying to navigate things, and you're not making it easy at all for her. Because it's like Phyllis is absolving herself of any kind of wrongdoing or putting things in motion, right? So Daniel says, so look, I'm just telling you this so you can get your head back in the game. She has not turned her back on you. She has not chosen Diane for you. Now, you, Mom, need to be the bigger person. He should have said, you need to act like a mother. Okay, just be there for your daughter. What's done is done. You said you're happy working with me. Tell me now if that's not the case. No, I am happy. I'm happy. You know, and as he goes, then try to make peace with your daughter. Stop this riff. Be the bigger person, Mom, because Summer does need you. And here's the thing. Don't you dare tell her I told you. She told me that in confidence. Don't you dare. And he goes, I'm telling you right now. Because I wouldn't. First, she didn't say anything like I wouldn't. She just looked at him like, he goes, no, I'm telling you right now. Don't you dare rat me out to Summer. I won't, you know. So she leaves, and she's going to find Summer at the Abbott house. And she looks through the glass, and there she sees Diane and Jack lip locking in the kitchen. I mean, in the living room. So she doesn't even knock on the door. Good, because I'm thinking, you know what? What could you say? Don't even go in, right? So she ends up going to Noah's club. And isn't it interesting? Noah doesn't really have a storyline. He or Allie, both of them could go. Seriously. So she goes to Noah's club, and she's sitting on a chair, just still stewing. She still didn't go over no resumes, still stewing. Tucker comes in, with his drink, and he sits down. He goes, you look like I feel. And she looks at him like, oh my God, who asked you to sit by me? And he goes, oh, and just how do I look and how do you feel? And he goes, like we ought to burn it all down. And she just looks at him like, wait, what? Are you talking mayhem and destruction? Are you talking ruining some lives? Are you talking me possibly completely annihilating the relationship with my son and my daughter? Well, gosh darn it, I think I'm in. What you got? What you got in mind? Because see, Phyllis is already in the spiraling out, feel like I've got nothing to lose phase. She's not valuing the opportunity Daniel's given her whatsoever, right? So we're going to see, I see some kind of alliance getting ready to form between Tucker and Phyllis. That's going to be something bad. Something bad is going to happen, but we shall see what happens. It's about time for Tucker to now turn into his Tucker character, his actual true persona. We're getting ready to see Trevor St. John be a bad boy right about now, because we've seen glimpses of it. We've seen it, but we're getting ready to see a lot of it now. And so let's go to comment corner. Comment corner. Sherry says, I can't believe Jack is on board with her crime. Talk about on board. He's pushing her forward with it, right? He would never go along with that for anyone else. Oh, good God, no, he wouldn't. And Libby says, Diana's lost her dang mind. That's the first thought I had when her about her choice of Nikki. If you can't launder money at Noah's club because he's Noah's grandson, she thinks they can steal from his wife because it's Victor's grandson. She thinks they can steal from his wife. I think this has been part of her plan all along. I mean, there is some kind of master plan, seriously. And then Libby says, one other prediction I want to make is this year is that Allie is not Chemo's daughter, but a part of Diane and Tucker's plan. I think when they finally decide they're going to get rid of Allie, that is going to be the case because, yeah, you know, for somebody that didn't want to know anybody, she sure did come to Genoa City and never left, right? And never left. And then still so sad about Lily. She's made up her mind. She's not willing to do the work with Billy, and he is. Rather than just complaining about their hard session, they should have been comforting each other. Chance's poetic comment about Ethiopian food was totally out of character for him. He seems like a staid, boring steak, man, what, meat and potatoes man to me. I know, huh? And then QOTD, I think you did say quote of the day, or my son came in and he goes, that's quote of the day. Quote of the you guys in these acronyms kill me. Was I was wearing Ashley's blouse the other day to work. That's what I was saying. Diane was bragging how she had access to Ashley's stuff. And Diane planning a crime like she's trying to decide does she want pepperoni or sausage on the pizza. I know. It was just like it was nothing. It was just common fact. Look, this is what I'm good at, Jack. Keep up, right? And then Annette says, wait, did Diane tell Jeremy how they out? Uh-oh, your letters got all jacked up there, Annette. I can't understand what that's supposed to be. Then it says she had no clue about him until he got caught. Yeah, Annette, I don't quite get that comment. Yeah, the letters aren't right with that. And then Annette says, I'm happy Devon is having Audra investigated. Hopefully, Devon will be able to expose Tucker's betrayal. Well, yes, he sure did. Not to the full extent, but he definitely did. Hopefully, Elena will discover Nate's affair, beginning with Victoria next week. It will be interesting. Nate has not had an affair yet. Summer is finally taking off the rose-colored glasses regarding Kyle. Have a nice weekend. Well, listen, what's interesting about now the new players getting ready to happen at Newman with Nate, I'm not seeing a Victoria and Nate affair. I'm seeing a Victoria and Audra affair. Remember, from day one, Audra has been after Nate, wanting him to take her to the club, wanting them to develop a relationship outside of work. That's been Audra all along. See, when Amani's character exited Young and the Restless, they had Audra's character pick all that right back up. They sure did. If you notice the way she compliments Nate, the way Amani used to, they just wrote the same, now meshing the same character all into one, right? So I believe my prediction is the affair is going to be between those two, and Elena is going to find out, right? Because Audra is going to definitely get what she wants. So anyway, that's the daily recap for the Young and the Restless today. And we've also heard from my co-host, as usual, my 15-year-old co-host named Kara. She's my Yorkie. She's chiming in right now. She's saying goodbye to all of us. So I will be back tomorrow for the next daily recap for the young and the restless.